Have you ever heard someone speak and instantly felt something? Not because of what they said, but because of how they sounded. Before you understand the meaning, before you analyze the words, your brain has already reacted. And the strange part is, you don't choose that reaction. It just happened. So the real question is, what's your brain hearing that you are not consciously aware of? Because inside every voice there are signals, and those signals can create attraction. Your voice is not just sound. From a scientific perspective, it is a system of signals. In evolutionary psychology, research shows that humans evolved to detect information quickly, not through long thinking, but through fast perception. And voice became one of those tools because before humans could clearly see each other, they could hear each other. So the brain learned to extract meaning from sound, not just language, but condition. When someone speaks, your brain is asking, is the person is calm? Is this person stressed? Is this person confident? Is this person safe? And it answers these questions in seconds. So attraction doesn't always begin with appearance. Sometimes it begins with interpretation. Let's go deeper. Your voice has something called pitch. This is simply how deep or high it sounds. Now, this is not random. Pitch is influenced by biology. In men, a deeper voice is often associated with higher testosterone. In women, a slightly higher pitch is often associated with estrogen. There are not opinions. These are biological patterns observed in multiple studies. But here's the important part. People are not consciously thinking about hormones. They are not analyzing scientifically. Instead, their brain is detecting patterns. This connects to something called signal theory. Signal theory explains how observable traits communicate hidden information. So when someone hears a voice, they are not just hearing a sound, they are receiving signals about strength, health, and emotional condition. So what feel like attraction may actually be interpretation. When a voice enters your ears, the process is fast. The sound goes into auditory cortex, but almost immediately, it also activates emotional areas of the brain. This includes part of limbic system, and this is important because the limbic system reacts before logic. So what does that mean? It means you feel the voice before you understand it. That's why sometimes you hear someone speak and you already like how it feels, even if the words are simple. So attraction can start before meaning. Now let's look at something subtle, voice stability. Imagine two people speaking. One voice is steady, controlled and consistent, and the other is slightly shaky, uneven and unpredictable. Even if they say the same thing, your reaction will be different because your brain interprets stability as control, and control is linked to confidence. On the other hand, instability can signal stress or uncertainty. Again, this is not conscious thinking, it is fast perception. So your voice is constantly answering a question: how stable are you? Now let's move to timing. The speed at which you speak. If someone speaks too fast, it creates pressure. It feels rushed, sometimes even anxious. If someone speaks too slow, it can feel low energy or disconnected. But a balanced pace feels natural. It gives the listener time to process, time to feel, time to stay. And then is rhythm, small pause, slight variations, moments of silence. This creates depth because silence adds weight to words. Sometimes what you don't say is what makes your voice powerful. Here's something deeper. When you hear a voice, you don't just hear it, you imagine the person behind it. A calm voice can feel mature. A warm voice can feel kind. A steady, deep voice can feel dominant, even if none of that is true. This happens because of cognitive bias. Your brain fills in missing information based on the patterns. So a voice becomes more than sound. It becomes a representation. So people are not reacting only to your voice, they are reacting to what it suggests. Why does this exist? Why does voice have this power? In early human environments, visual clarity was not always available. Distance, darkness, and obstacles made it difficult to rely on the sight, but sound traveled. So voice became a tool to detect presence, intention, and emotional state. And over time, the brain adapted. So today, even in modern environment, your brain is still using this system, which means your reactions are modern, but your processing is ancient. Now bring this back to you. When someone listens to your voice, they are forming impressions, not slowly, but instantly. They are feeling calm or tension, interest or boredom, connection or distance. And most of this happens before they decided to keep listening. So your voice is not just delivering content, it is shaping experience. So the question is, what does your voice make people feel? You don't need to change your voice completely. You just need to remove interferences. Slow down slightly, not too much, just enough to create space. Allow small pauses. Let ideas settle. Reduce tension. Speak from a relaxed state. Because tension is audible and people can feel it. The goal is not to sound different. The goal is to sound natural. Your voice is always communicating, even when you are not trying. It carries signals about your state, your control, your presence. And people respond to those signals before they understand your message. The truth is, your voice is already affecting people right now. Someone may feel calm listening to you. Someone may feel curious. Someone may feel connected. Not because you try to impress them, but because something in your voice felt real. And in a world where most people are performing and trying to sound a certain way, realness stands out. So don't focus on making your voice perfect. Don't force step. Don't force style. Just remove what is unnatural. Remove tension, remove rushing, remove overthinking, and what remains will be enough. Because attraction is not always created, sometimes it is revealed, and sometimes it is heard before it is ever seen. Now let's go deeper into something more precise. Up to this point, we have been talking about how voice feels, but now the question becomes, what is the voice actually coming from? Because a voice is not just sound, it is produced by the body, and the body carries biological information. When you speak, air moves from your lungs through your vocal cords and into your mouth and nasal cavities, and each part of the system affects how your voice sounds. The length and thickness of your vocal cords affect pitch. Longer and thicker vocal cords usually produce a deeper sound. Shorter and thinner ones produce a higher sound. But these physical features are not random. They are influenced by hormones. During puberty, testosterone causes the vocal cords in males to thicken and lengthen. This lowers the pitch of the voice. In females, estrogen leads to different vocal development, resulting in a relatively higher pitch. So when someone hears a voice, they are not just hearing the sound, they are indirectly hearing the effect of hormones. And this is where it comes more interesting, because the voice also carries information about body size. A larger vocal tract, which includes the throat and mouth cavity, creates deeper resonance. Resonance is what makes a voice feel full or rich, and research shows that people often associate deeper, more resonant voices with larger body size and greater physical strength, even if they never see the person. This is not a conscious calculation, it's an automatic association. So your brain is constantly doing this, hearing a sound and estimating physical traits, not perfectly, but constantly enough to influence perception. There is also another layer. Your voice can reflect your current state. If your body is tense, your breathing becomes shallow. Your voice may sound tighter, less stable. If your body is relaxed, your breathing becomes deeper. Your voice sounds smoother and more controlled. So, in that moment, your voice is communicating your internal state, and other people can hear that, not as clear thought but as feelings. This is why sometimes you can tell someone is nervous even if they are trying to hide it, or you can feel that someone is calm without knowing why, because the voice is carrying signals from the body. So when we talk about voice attraction, we are not talking about something artificial. We are talking about the connection between biology, physiology, and perception. Your voice becomes a bridge between your internal state and someone else's experience. And this is why small changes in your body can change how your voice is perceived. Better breathing creates more stability. Less tension creates more smoother sound. More control creates clearer signals. And these signals shape how people feel when they hear you. So in the end, Your voice is not separate from you. It is a reflection of your biology, your structure and internal state, and the people respond to it before they understand it. Not because they are analyzing you, but because their brain has learned to listen of these signals over thousands of years. So, when someone feels something, listening to a voice, it's not random. It is the result of physical structure, hormonal influence, and neural interpretations working together. And all of that is happening in seconds before a signal is fully understood.